they talking real loud, spreading no lie, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Put my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud, spreading no lie, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Put my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud, spreading no lie, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Put my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah, and this is your daily vitamin. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so it's good to be back. All right, we have some more stuff to get into. Hello, Juju B. Hadassah is in the house. Claudette, Mel, Terry Hinton. All right, let's get into it, Troy. G from the land with the people. Okay, Perplexed, Desmond, Measure Man. All right, D Major is in the virtual building. Cherokee Descendant, Dale. Okay. Let's get into it, beloveds. Everybody hit that like button. Also double check to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel, especially if you haven't been receiving the notifications. Byron B, did you get that? Okay, so let's have a brief word from my sponsor so we can get into it.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Okay, just look for Lisa Crafts, and you can also find it at Walmart.com. And don't forget that she sells beard oil as well. Okay, so, well, people, the votes are in with a vote of 427 to 1. Okay, the bill went on to the Senate, and now, just moments ago, speaking on the Senate floor just a few minutes ago, Democratic Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has asked for unanimous consent to pass the Epstein Files bill, which just passed in the House. This is about giving the American people the transparency they have been crying for, he says. Okay, the American people have waited long enough. Jeffrey Epstein's victims have waited long enough. Let the truth come out. So, without any objections raised, the measure passes. Now, once the House sends the bill to the other side of the Capitol, to the Senate chamber, there will be no debate and no amendments, a much quicker process than on other parts of Capitol Hill politics. Once the bill is delivered, the measure will be sent to President Trump's desk. Now, he has indicated he will sign the bill after spending much of the last week lobbying to stop its passage in the House. So here we go. I'm going to play this clip right here. They say this is breaking news. The bill passed the Senate, according to Chuck Schumer. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share.
Let the truth come out. Let transparency reign. And I urge my Republican colleagues, let the Senate act today. And so I ask unanimous consent that when the Senate receives H.R. 4405, the Epstein Files Transparency Act from the House, the Senate proceed to its immediate consideration. The bill be considered read 3 times and passed with no intervening action or debate, and the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.
Is there an objection? Without objection, so ordered.
The Senate has now passed the Epstein bill as soon as it comes over from the House.
All right, so y'all heard that. Now the only thing left to do is to see if Trump's going to veto it, because you know he can. But here's the thing, okay? There's a whole lot that Trump could do, quite frankly. But and I know he's going to pull some kind of fast one. Okay, I don't think those files are ever coming out, quite frankly. And listening to what MAGA Mike had to say really reaffirmed what I was already thinking. Let's go to this clip of him speaking. Then we'll have Jasmine Crockett's going to speak about him afterwards. This is like a 4-minute clip, and then I want you all to see this video where he's sitting up there lying through his teeth, and I have the receipts to prove that he's lying. But I want you all to look at the glee on his face. He is ecstatic because he knows he's lying, and he really knows that they have no intentions of letting the Epstein files come out. Okay, please pay attention. Now that's going to be on the second clip.
I brought a chart in here this morning. I want to illustrate for you what we are concerned with. Now, I was a federal court litigator. The members of our House Judiciary Committee, Republicans in particular, have many of these concerns. You have Chairman Jim Jordan and attorneys like Chip Roy, who's running for Attorney General of Texas now. You have Brad Knott, who's a former federal prosecutor, many members on the committee. Andy Biggs is running for governor of Arizona. They're lawyers, and they understand that the way the discharge petition was drafted is haphazard and dangerous. This is why we have been opposed to this point, okay? And I could be here for a long time going through all the details of it, but the big concern we've all had all along is that the House bill, if it's passed in its current form and it was signed into law, it is dangerously flawed. And our problem and our frustration is there's no way for us in the House to amend it or correct these problems because the authors of the discharge will not allow it. And that's one of our great frustrations. Let me just very quickly, we have a legal document that the lawyers, we have all drafted to explain all this, but let me give you five quick, maybe the top 5 concerns about it, and there are more. But as drafted, the discharge petition, it fails to fully protect victim privacy. Number 2, the discharge petition could create new victims, okay? Because it requires the DOJ to release information even in cases where the DOJ or the FBI has already reviewed it and determined it is not credible, it is false information. Doing this and requiring this to come out could ruin the reputations of completely innocent people, such as those who have may just have known Epstein but knew nothing of his crimes or whose names he exploited. Number 3, the discharge in its current form fails to prohibit the release of child sexual abuse materials. So number 4, it jeopardizes the future federal investigations of the United States. Why? Because the discharge only allows the Attorney General to redact limited portions of records that could publicly identify individuals who were promised confidentiality. In this scenario, you're talking about whistleblowers, you're talking about confidential informants who came forward and gave information and evidence in exchange for agreeing to have their identities not revealed. Violating confidentiality, imagine the chilling effect that would have on future investigations. Number 5, national security concerns, okay? The discharge requires the Attorney General to release within 30 days, quote, classified information to the maximum extent possible. This ignores the principle that declassification should always rest, and always has rested, with the agency that originated the intelligence. Why? So that they can protect their critical sources and methods. It is incredibly dangerous to demand that officials or employees of the DOJ declassify materials that originated in other agencies, in intelligence agencies.
He full of shit. Because here's the thing. Number one, we know that he didn't even bring the House back in because he was trying to avoid us dealing with Epstein. In fact, he would not even swear in a duly elected, now new member of Congress, depriving and having to be sued by her state and others because they literally did not have any representation. He violated the Constitution to avoid this. So miss me on pretending that this is about the victims. They shut down the House in a time when Americans could not eat, all because they did not want to deal with the Epstein files. And he has called it a hoax. And now he's saying that, well, there's something to investigate. He is all over the place. The one thing that we know for sure is that he was sued not once, but at least twice by alleged child sex victims alongside Epstein. You tell me what other Democrat was named as a defendant alongside Epstein prior to all of this jazz ever happening. We're talking about 9 years ago.
All right. Well, no lies detected. Okay, make it all make sense. Metro Man said Mike Johnson's toupee ain't toupee, and I'm just saying. Honey, is he wearing a toupee? Is that what that is? Yikes. Okay. Well, honey, he's sitting up there. He's gonna tell the biggest lie in the next minute. Okay. And Metro Man, thank you for your insight to the topic, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, with this next clip is where Mike Johnson decides to just sit up there and lie through his teeth and with a smile on his face.
Why not, in the name of transparency, call on the president to just release the full Epstein files? He doesn't even need Congress to have this vote.
Well, the president's made very clear his position over the last few days. His truth post over the weekend and what he said. I mean, he had a press gaggle yesterday. He said the same thing.
Okay, so the president has been saying for the last few days. Come on, Mrs. Whitman. Yes, he has been saying for the last couple of days. But what about him being in office since January? Okay, almost a whole year, and he's been hiding from it the whole time. So please don't sit here and try to act like he was always wanting to put it out there.
He says release all the files. He's been saying that. What he was counting on and what we were insistent upon is using the processes of Congress, as I've explained here in great detail this morning, to do it in the right way so that it's not haphazard. And Congress has a role to do that. The Oversight Committee is the appropriate place for this to be done, and that is what is happening right now, as you've all seen. And so we preferred that route. And by the way, as I mentioned, that route is more comprehensive than anything the discharge petition would accomplish anyway.
First of all, why are they even going that route? Why do they even need a discharge petition? At the end of the day, Trump could easily have allowed them to release the files in the beginning. But he said this is the route they wanted to go. Yeah, the long route, because y'all were stalling. And even now, I don't think those files are ever going to come out because they don't want them to come out. No, just keep listening because he's about to tell the biggest lie ever.
Because it didn't even mention the Epstein files and some of these other things. I mean, the estate files. So we want the process to play out. We want it to be done in the right way. We want to do it in a way that doesn't jeopardize our legal system and doesn't inflict more harm on victims.
Now, you know darn well they don't care anything about the legal system. Trump violates the legal system every day. He has federal judges arrested. He dismisses federal judges' orders. He just does whatever he wants. He doesn't feel the need to get congressional authority. So now they're concerned about laws. Please.
And the president is resolute on that, as we have been. And that's why we opposed this gambit from the beginning. Yes.
Now, this is the one where you're going to see him grinning. He can barely contain himself. He's ecstatic because he knows he's lying. And he knows that they have no intentions of letting those files come out.
Federal cases. I used to litigate federal cases, and I would challenge statutes in court, okay? The language is very important and very precise. If it's not listed here and this were to become law, child use materials are not included. They're not included for redaction, which means the Attorney General and someone there, if they interpret the discharge in the statute that it passes directly and literally, as they're supposed to do, they're required to do under the law, then you're going to have things that would qualify under child included in the distribution of this stuff.
Okay, so I had to silence what he was saying because he was talking about kitty corn. Okay, y'all know what he's talking about. So he was basically saying if they release the things as it says in the petition, then they're going to be releasing kitty corn. Now, you know darn well they would not do that. Okay, we all know that's illegal. Okay, he sounds so stupid. And he's acting like they can't redact any of those things if they're in the files. Okay, please pay attention, but let's keep listening.
We can't go for that.
It's up to the Attorney General.
No, it's not up to it's not up to the Attorney General because the way it's listed in the document. No, it's not. It's not because it doesn't reference the right code section. So we could go through every one of these things. We have had a small army of lawyers going through it because I want to make sure that all of my concerns, because I read it the first time initially and I thought, whoa, this is way out of bounds. We have a in fact, we'll put on the speaker.gov. I'll put it on the website here when we leave. You'll see the summary of the legal analysis, and it goes through point by point, and it points to the specific sections in the discharge. Guys, we're not making this up, and you can take it to your counsel at your outlet.
He literally is making it up. He literally is making it up.
It's offices and have them review it, and they'll tell you the same thing. This should have been done in a much more careful manner, and it was not. And I'm going to point out again, when the authors were asked to fix it, they said they weren't interested in doing that. Okay, why? Because this is a raw and obvious political exercise. Again, I'm just going to leave you with this question. You should go ask them all. If you were so concerned about the Epstein files and protecting the victims, why didn't you do a darn thing about it for the 4 years of the Biden administration? All this stuff was sitting in a warehouse, and nobody said a word about it. They didn't care. Now they're doing it. We all know why. Because they're trying to attack President Trump. That's
ACA
it.
question.
Thank you. So what?
He is a lying dog. Now I want you all to pay attention because first of all, everything he just told you was all cap. And I'm going to prove it to you. Okay? In one swoop. He's straight up lying. And here's the thing. First of all, he says the authors didn't want to change it. He could have taken care of all that himself months ago, but he didn't. You know why he didn't? Because he went on vacation. Okay, he went on vacation because he was stalling. Because he didn't want to be bothered with it. Because he didn't want the files to come out, and he still doesn't. Okay, but here's the thing. He's sitting here saying, you know, that if they go by the language of the petition, then there's things in there about the victims and personal information, and people could be made to look bad and guilty, even though they didn't do anything. This is all lies and all cap. And he said, we're not making this up. Yeah, he is absolutely making it up. And I'm about to show you right now. He is absolutely making this up. Okay? Now, he can fool people who don't do their research, but the queen does. You can't fool me, honey, okay? Because I stay on them. I keep the receipts. And here's why he can't, okay? This is why he's lying. This is why, you know, he's lying. Because first of all, there's something that was filed July the 15th. It's called H.R. 4405, the Epstein Transparency Files Act. Now, you may have heard Chuck Schumer, Minority Speaker Chuck Schumer, you may have heard him say something about that, right? You may have heard him mention that in that clip that I showed you. Okay, but here's the thing that he didn't mention. Okay, it says, oh, honey, let me put on my glasses because this print is oh so small. But I want you all to pay attention because lies are being told. They're still making excuses. That's all we keep getting from him and Trump. More and more nefarious excuses. Okay, so here's what it says. Epstein Files Transparency Act. Now, this bill requires the Department of Justice, DOJ, to publish in a searchable and downloadable format all unclassified records, documents, communications, and investigative materials in DOJ's possession that relate to the investigation and prosecution of Jeffrey Epstein. Now, this includes, number 1, materials that relate to Ghislaine Maxwell. 2, flight logs and travel records. 3, individuals named or referenced, including government officials, and in connection with the investigation and the prosecution of Jeffrey Epstein. DOJ is permitted. Now, listen, because this is the part that lets you know that he was just sitting there telling a lie and that he did make that stuff up. The DOJ is permitted to withhold certain information, such as the personal information of victims and materials that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. So they can redact that stuff. They don't have to put that out there. Why is he lying? Do they think we're all stupid? Yeah, sadly they do, because they know that the MAGA cult is stupid. Okay? Additionally, not later than 15 days after the required publication, DOJ must report to Congress all categories of information released and withheld, a summary of any redactions made, and a list of all government officials and politically exposed individuals named or referenced in the published materials. So that being said, with him talking about people being in danger of being accused of things if they didn't do anything, and people, victims' information being out, and this could be like so catastrophic, let him tell it for people in the future and all of this stuff. He's just lying. This is just all a load of BS. This is nothing but more excuses. They do not want to let those files come out ever. Neither him nor Trump. Payo Bunyan said it's all a setup, Queen. Of course it is. It's all lies and BS, smoke and mirrors. Okay, this is what they have been doing continuously. At the end of the day, these people are something else. They really are. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. I just am like, I find it so nefarious. New majority leader says Epstein bill could pass Senate today. Okay, it's already passed, so we don't need to listen to this report. Okay, now that all being said, let's go to this video where Jasmine Crockett says, God don't like ugly. Texas court just blocked Trump's map grab. Yeah, sure did. The federal judge blocked it. Okay, so that's not going to fly. And Trump was just trying to do that so he could get more seats for Republicans. Little Miss Crockett is so thrilled because, that could have cost her seat. Let me pull up the footage. Here we go. Now, I'm going to use an overlay because this video is on her personal YouTube channel.
To jump on, as y'all can see, I'm in what they call the Rayburn room right now. So I'm not in my office, but I am at the Capitol because I stay on my job. And right now we are actually debating this whole Epstein situation because we're gonna vote on it today. So they're currently in debate on the floor. Republicans acting like they always been standing with the survivors. Child, we ain't even gonna talk about that. They done a whole full 180 because I guess they realize it's not really popular to like protect pedophiles. But that's a whole other issue because y'all know what GOP stands for, guardians of pedophiles. Now, moving on to why I wanted to jump on. I wanted to jump on because, y'all, listen, Trump about to be so mad. Okay. So, yeah.
Let me tell y'all something. Little Miss Crockett is just as excited as I was this morning. I want y'all to pay attention to that. It's going down.
Y'all know we had all this drama over our lines because Trump decided that he wanted to start in Texas. He wanted to come and snatch seats in Texas, right? And specifically, he wanted to reduce the voting power and the voting strength of Black and brown voices in Texas, right? So here it is. I have been engaged in litigation since the last lines because the current lines that we have are bad, but the new lines were even worse. So here it is. He says, yo, Abbott, come through for your boy, right? Ultimately, Abbott, of course, rolls up, says, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Okay. Now they've got themselves into a tizzy because after they started that, we know Gavin Newsom said, oh, y'all want to play? We can play. So California did what they did. So to be clear, as of maybe an hour ago, if that long, the court in Texas, and I want to tell y'all, this is not some liberal court, like liberal courts in Texas don't even really go together. This was a 2-to-1 Republican majority court. And what did they say? They said, oh, plaintiffs, y'all want to temporarily enjoin them because, see, the damage will already be done. Those voices would already be diluted by the time we actually can determine whether or not the actual merits of this case make sense. So they decided them lines, they ain't going into effect right now. Not right now. Not right now. Now, I know a lot of y'all probably gonna have questions about what does this mean for California, that kind of stuff. California has already voted. They have already passed their map. It does not save California because this is still the law. These maps have been signed into law. It's just that the maps won't necessarily go into effect as of right now. Now we know that they about to run to the Supreme Court and be like, Supremes, help us out. Supremes, we need to serve our master. Hey, like, hook us up. Now, who knows what the Supreme Court will do, but they are running out of time. Our filing deadline in Texas is on December 8th. So if you know anything about the filings in Texas, we already started filing for these congressional districts. And honestly, most people had not filed their paperwork for a congressional district yet because nobody knew what lines we were running on, whether we were running on the 21 lines or if we were running on these new 25 lines. Well, the court has spoken. The court has said 21 it is. So what does that mean? That means no pickup for Trump in Texas. That means Utah messed him off and gave us a seat. That means he did pick up one in Missouri. He didn't pick up anything in Kansas. He didn't pick up anything in Indiana. Virginia and Maryland are talking about going and changing their lines. We know California ended up with a Democratic pickup of 5. We know North Carolina also gave him one. So right now, your boy is down. Your boy is down. Listen, this is exactly, God don't like ugly. I told my staff to name this live God Don't Like Ugly. It seems like they went with the bad words, but I was on my Christianity today and told them that we need to name this God Don't Like Ugly.
We know God don't like Trump's combined. She said we're all about to be blessed. Let me tell y'all something, honey. Trump is mad right about now. Okay. So I meant to tell you all. So there was one person who voted against it. Okay. It was 427 to 1. The person that voted against it was a guy by the name of Clay Higgins. Now, Clay Higgins claimed that the reason he voted against it was because of privacy concerns. He argued the bill, as written, reveals and injures thousands of innocent people, witnesses, people who provided alibis, family members, etc. He claimed it abandons 250 years of criminal justice procedure in America. Okay. Higgins worried that a broad reveal of investigative files, once released, could be exploited by what he called a rabid media, potentially hurting innocent people. He was saying the same things MAGA Mike just stood up there and said, it's all lies, okay? Because they know they didn't have any concern about this, okay? He said he would consider supporting a version of the bill if the Senate amended it to better protect the privacy of victims and other Americans who are named but not criminally implicated. Here's the thing, like I just told you all minutes ago, MAGA Mike, the Speaker of the House, he could have amended that bill months ago, but he chose to go on vacation. That's what he chose to do. Okay, so they can miss us with it. He pointed to the Oversight Committee's own investigation into Epstein, saying that committee has already made well over 60,000 pages of documents public and referred that process over forcing a blanket release. Now, in short, Higgins supports transparency, but he thinks the bill, as passed, goes too far, that it could expose people who weren't accused of anything. Please, Ms. Moody, he doesn't like transparency. None of them do. None of the GOP does, okay? Not at all. So anyway, with that all being said, Trump is very upset right about now. A federal court on Tuesday blocked Texas from using its newly redrawn congressional map in the upcoming 2026 midterm elections, a setback for Republicans as they work to maintain their narrow majority in the House. In a decision authored by U.S. District Judge Jeffrey Brown, the court ordered the state to instead use House district lines adopted by the Texas legislature in 2021 for next year's congressional elections. The dispute was heard by a 3-judge panel, which divided 2-1 and finding that voting rights and advocacy groups that challenged the redistricting plan were likely to prove that the 2025 map is an unconstitutional racial gerrymander. It was a racial gerrymander because, like she said, they were trying to unseat the Black and brown people. That's what they were trying to do, low down dirty devils, but it didn't work. Okay, it didn't work. Their whole plans are falling apart. Okay, at the end of the day, just so you all know, their plans are all falling apart. And what I found that was also interesting And here's the thing. Listen, they have to lose next election because remember what Bannon said. If they lose, they're all going to prison, including him. Remember he said that? I showed you all the footage. Yeah. So the fact that he said they're all going to jail, including him, lets you know that he just admitted guilt. They've all been committing crimes, apparently. Okay? Now, what do you make of that? Yeah. Said they're all going to jail. If we don't win, we're all going to jail. We're all going to prison, myself included. I can't wait for that day to come. But in the meantime, let's talk about Pam Bondi, because when I tell you all, this lady went in on her so bad, it was sad to watch. Well, actually, it wasn't. Sad for her, though. But at the end of the day, they grilled her on Capitol Hill for 75 straight minutes. Now, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but at the end of the day, I just want you all to see how it all went bad. Okay? It went real bad for her. Okay? Please pay attention. Now, I'm going to have to put an overlay on here because I think this is Young Turk's video. But this is a compilation of her just getting dragged, okay? And looking like a whole fool, because that's exactly what she is. Anybody that follows Trump, and rather than the rule of law, knowing that Trump will quickly throw you under the bus. I mean, just look at how he threw MAGA Mike under the bus. MAGA Mike had been defending Trump all this time, telling all of these lies, and is still telling them, mind you, trying to cover up Trump's cracks. Or his tracks, not his cracks, trying to cover up Trump's tracks, okay? And then only for Trump to come out and say, go ahead and release it and just undo everything that he's been trying to do. What a fool he is. And Lindsay Halligan, too. She's going to lose that license, and then she'll see how stupid she was. But all of these people are so idiotic to be allowing Trump to use them as minions. I mean, they don't know about other people Trump has done dirt to, other people that have worked for Trump, with Trump, and then he just turned on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it.
To have the sitting attorney general go on, and I'm gonna call it faux news. I know some of y'all love it, but it's fake to me. To have her go on Fox News and to then decide that she wanted to send a threat to me.
This is domestic terrorism. And Maria, now you have this Congresswoman Crockett who is calling for attacks on Elon Musk on her birthday. Let's take him out on my birthday, she says. And yet she turns and says, oh, I'm not calling for violence. Well, she is an elected public official. And so she needs to tread very carefully because nothing will happen to Elon Musk. And we're going to fight to protect all of the Tesla.
First of all, they were caping so hard for Elon, and now they don't even like him because him and Trump fell out. Okay, she needs to sit down somewhere. And that's not even what Little Miss Crockett said. She didn't say we need to take him out. She said we need to take him down. That's what she wanted for her birthday. Now, taking someone out and taking someone down are two totally different things. Okay, please pay attention. This is how they lie and twist people's words to paint false narratives. All of them do it. And by them, I mean the people in Trump's administration. Measure Man says Pam Bondi forgot Nixon didn't go to prison, but his AG did go to prison. Exactly. Okay, they let Nixon resign. All right, and that's exactly what will happen to these folks. Trump will get off scot-free while they all go straight to prison. There's people sitting in prison right now because of Trump, but he's not there because he won the election. Okay, thank you for your insight to the topic, beloved, and your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings.
Owners throughout this country, and it's just basic safety. Once again, domestic terrorism is going to come to a stop in our country.
It was wrong. Because here it is, she is the highest law enforcement agent in this country, and people are watching and they are consuming this information and they are believing that simply because I decided that I wanted to exercise my right to free speech, which I am not abridged from doing, that she then wanted to then politicize something that should not be politicized. I don't like Elon Musk. I'm going to say it 50,000 times. I don't like him. I don't like that he going out there and he firing people. I think that he's a crook because somehow the rest of us can't sit around and get whatever federal contracts we want. The rest of us can't sit around and get law enforcement and get them somehow ordained as federal law enforcement to protect him. The rest of us can't get our dealerships protected by the federal government. That is somebody that is operating above the law.
for whatever reason, just because he has a lot of money, more money than everybody else. And yes, I am happy to see that on my birthday, which is what I said, there were peaceful protests around this world against him because he is a problem. And so you never should have somebody that is sitting that high and is going to sit up here and threaten a sitting member of Congress when she knew good and well, if she watched the entire thing, that I specifically told protesters to make sure you consult with lawyers, just like I've told protesters over and over and over in the history of me advising people to go out and exercise their constitutional right. The fact that there are other sitting members that have received letters of threat from this new DOJ tells me that they are about retribution and they are not about following the law. The reason that our party, or I won't even say our party, our country is torn apart is because we can't even agree on right versus wrong. This should not be left versus right. The only thing that we're asking is that we have law enforcement that will show up when there is an actual crime. If somebody calls and says, hey, I need you to investigate this cyber crime, or I need you to investigate this child pornography, or I need you to investigate this robbery, then we want somebody to show up, and we don't want them to look at us and act as if just because I'm black or because I'm woman, that I am not worthy of having that case investigated, because we have an administration that is continuously railing against diversity, equity, and inclusion, or we don't need people that show up that feel like diversity should not be valued. That is why we should have somebody that may show up and looks like me. The final thing that I'll say, because you've been gracious, is this. When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy. And I said, let me tell you something. When I walk in, I'm going to walk in with a level of rapport and understanding that maybe some of my other colleagues will not. Charlie offered me my job, and I worked my butt off, and I worked really, really hard for all of my clients, not just those that look like me. And that is what it looks like to serve. Thank you.
No. You asked me a question.
I did. And
you asked me a question.
And you haven't.
Hold on. Okay, so now Flint Water says Trumpo isn't in prison because he's shite. Okay. Thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. Here's the thing. Trump's not in prison because he won the election, because the special counsel, Jack Smith, came out and said that he had all the facts, proof, receipts, and evidence to get a conviction. He could have secured a conviction on Trump. Okay, for him having those classified documents at Mar-a-Lago that he wasn't supposed to have in his possession, clearly stole them when he left office. And then also, he just had all the goods on Trump for the election interference and all of that. He had the receipts. If Trump had not won this election, that man would have been in prison. I just hate it so bad. Too late now, though. But anyway, let's continue.
Answered my question.
So they're going to be out on the streets working.
You haven't
hand in hand
answered my
with
question.
DEA
You
to
haven't
violate.
answered. Mr. Chairman, I'd like an answer to my question. And the question is not being answered. How many ATF law enforcement officers and industry operations investigators do you anticipate will be lost to attrition as a result of the funding reduction you are proposing? You are proposing a 26% cut to ATF for fiscal year 2026, as well as a 4.4% cut to DEA. So you're going to merge the two agencies together, and then you're going to shortchange their resources, so neither one of them will be able to do the job that they have been designed to do. You've got a 34% cut to the high-intensity drug.
Now, hold on. Let me say something about that. She's absolutely right. Okay, they're trying to merge them together so they can cut the funding. And here's the thing. While they have all of these people, all these federal agents out here, boots on the ground, going from different cities and states, okay, out there doing, surveillance and harassing people and all of that, working with ICE and whatnot, who do you think's out here looking for the traffickers? Who do you think's out here doing the work that they would normally be doing if they were in the office? Okay, that work is being discarded. Nobody's looking for these child traffickers. Okay, I think that's what they want. They're out there wasting valuable resources with these agents out there, boots on the ground, with these governors have already told them they don't need these people out there. Okay, and then you've got ICE, you've got National Guard. You need agents out there too. Remember when they had the agents in Washington picking up trash in DC? Like, make it all make sense.
trafficking areas program, no dedicated money at all for the Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force. So my view, it's fair to say that the Trump administration proposal shortchanges federal efforts to stop illegal gun trafficking and federal efforts to stop the flow of dangerous illegal drugs like fentanyl.
As I was attempting to answer your question very calmly, unlike you,
Excuse me,
what I was
Madam
saying,
Attorney General. Answer yes or no. Tell me what the numbers are. I don't want to hear all of your filibuster about this. Go ahead, please. Tell us the numbers.
So we are reorganizing. ATF agents want to be out on the street.
Okay,
Working
let me
with
answer the
DEA
question for you.
agents.
I'm going to answer it for you. Page, you know, Mr. Chairman, you give me a certain amount of time, and I have a high respect for you, but I don't have to listen, nor do my colleagues have to listen to a filibuster when it's a simple question. But I have an answer to your question. It's page 146 of the department's fiscal year 2026 budget, and the performance summary explicitly says, and let me quote, ATF will eliminate 541 industry operation investigators, reducing ATF's capacity to regulate the firearms and explosive industries by approximately 40% in fiscal year 2026. ATF will perform fewer regulatory inspections. And the department summary goes on to say, and let me quote, ATF anticipates a reduction of approximately 284 support personnel and 186 agents based on historical attrition patterns, and these personnel cuts will impact ATF across various functions, unquote. If the capacity to regulate firearms industry is reduced by 40%, if you are losing 186 ATF law enforcement agents on top of that, it is clear the direction you are headed with this budget, and that's what it is, isn't it? The proposal will weaken our ability to stop gun trafficking, and it will greatly reduce ATF support for state and local law enforcement that helps them prevent and solve violent crimes. It's a bad proposal.
Do you want to hear my answer in 3 seconds? You mentioned regulatory functions. We will not be having ATF agents go to the doors of gun owners in the middle of the night asking them about their guns, period. They will be out on the streets with DEA, guns and drugs.
How many are gone?
It will be attrition. We are not firing agents. They will be working.
How many have
DEA.
taken attrition?
Can I tell you that they all want to be on the streets? They want to be doing their jobs. They want to be.
But you're getting them off the streets.
They want.
You're getting them off
We're
the
putting
streets.
them on the streets. And they want to be working with.
You are getting them off the streets. There is no clear. And Mr. Chairman, I yield back my time.
I cannot stand Pam Bondi. I really cannot stand that damn woman. She gets under my skin. Okay. Measurement says, y'all know Legally Blonde. Pam was involved in the Florida Epstein files. He chose her on purpose. I'm sure he did. The same with Lindsay Halligan. She was his personal attorney, beloved. Thank you for the insight. I appreciate you. And thanks for the contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, so we're going to listen to like one more person go in on her, then we're moving on.
Back my time. Let's get some answers here.
Were you consulted by the White House before they deployed National Guard troops to cities in the United States?
All right, so listen up. State Farm was trying to charge me $190.
Senator Lyons said they want to be on the streets, picking up trash.
I am not going to discuss any internal conversations with the White House.
You won't even say whether you talked to the White House about this?
I am not going to discuss any internal conversations with the White House with you, Ranking Member.
I noticed that. What's the secret? Why do you want to keep this secret? The American people don't know the rationale behind the deployment of National Guard troops in my state. The word is, and I think it's been confirmed by the White House, they are going to transfer Texas National Guard units to the state of Illinois. What's the rationale for that?
Yeah, Chairman, as you shut down the government, you voted to shut down the government, and you're sitting here, our law enforcement officers aren't being paid. They're out there working to protect you. I wish you loved Chicago as much as you hate President Trump. And currently, the National Guard are on the way to Chicago. If you're not going to protect your citizens, President Trump will.
been on this committee for more than 20 years. That's the kind of testimony you expect from this administration. A simple question as to whether or not they had a legal rationale for deploying National Guard troops becomes
Exactly.
grounds for a personal attack. I think it's a legitimate question. It's my responsibility. She refuses to answer as to whether she had any conversation with the White House about deploying national troops to my state.
Now, all she had to do was answer that. That is so disrespectful and so ignorant of her. That's the kind of stuff that makes me just want to yoke her up, okay? At the end of the day, girl, why can't you just simply tell them why in the hell you all sent those troops out there? Okay, what's the big deal? I'm not going to tell you anything that I discussed in the White House. I keep telling you all this woman is Trump's own personal lawyer. She's not telling nothing because that's attorney-client privilege. She doesn't work for the United States. She doesn't care about the Constitution. She works for Trump, and that's it, and that's all.
That's an indication, I'm afraid, where we are politically in this place. Let me ask you another question. I want to, if you will, hold on a second. Make sure I got the right page of facts here. You testified under oath when you last before this committee that before your appointment to Attorney General, you had served as a representative of some sort for the royal family of Qatar. There was an issue that came before you in May when President Trump accepted a $400 million luxury jet from the royal family of Qatar for temporary use as Air Force One before it's permanently gifted to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation. The Constitution unequivocally bestows on Congress the power to control whether any officer of the United States, including the president, may accept a gift, quote, from any king, prince, or foreign state, end of quote. And this gift clearly violates the statutory regime enacted by Congress. You've refused to answer a letter I sent to you 5 months ago, asking the legal rationale you relied on to advise President Trump to accept this unprecedented gift from your former legal client. Can you make a promise today that you will disclose that?
Disclose what, ranking member?
I assume there was a letter or some sort of statement from your office to the White House to advise them that you felt it was permissible?
First, to address my role with Qatar, as I addressed with you during my confirmation hearing, I disclosed it in my SJQ. In private practice, I worked for Qatar for anti-human trafficking for the World Cup. That was my only involvement, and I made that very clear, and I'm very proud of everything I've done with anti-human trafficking. Obviously, in preparing any advice for the president on a jet or anything else, we consult with the Office of Legal Counsel. The confidentiality applies to their input as well. And Chairman, if you would approve and vote to approve, as Chairman Grassley said, excuse me, Ranking Member, as Chairman Grassley said, my employees, we would answer your letters a lot faster, yet you're stalling them at every stop. And to go back to your previous question, your city has a murder rate 5 times higher than New York's. 571 homicides last year. If you were serious about protecting your people, you would be asking this administration for help.
Just because he doesn't want help from Trump's nefarious administration doesn't mean he doesn't care about his people. And here's the thing, Pam Bondi isn't the one to try to talk, because this woman was, accused by many critics of remaining willfully silent and not intervening in the controversial 2008 non-prosecution agreement that Epstein, along with his co-conspirators, that they struck, with her predecessor, which allowed Epstein to plead guilty to lesser state charges and have a short sentence where he could leave jail for at least 12 hours a day under the guise that he was going to work. That was the deal that Alex Acosta gave him. Yeah, and they said Pam Bondi didn't want to do anything about it. So with that all being said, now she wants to sit here and try to act like she's so holier than thou. Like, sit down somewhere. Millicent said can't talk at all. No, she absolutely can't, as far as I'm concerned. And here's another thing. She should be going to prison when it's all over with. I hope they all go to prison, just like Bannon is worried about. I hope they do, because at the end of the day, like I told you all, Nixon's AG went to prison. He sure did. And he ended up getting out like after 19 months and was on parole and all of that. And I hope she gets the same fate. And here's the thing. What he was charged with, is likely what she would be charged with: conspiracy, perjury, and obstruction of justice. All right. And any other malfeasance they can throw on her, as far as I'm concerned.
You're saying that we're coming into your state and your city. We're there to help make America safe and Illinois safe, whether or not you want to.
I believe cutting federal grant programs to law enforcement in my state and across the nation does not make us any safer, and you've done just that. You've supplanted that decision by sending in National Guard troops to California and other places. That is a situation where the governors have not asked for that help. If you truly wanted to do this on a bipartisan basis, you wouldn't defy a governor, you would work with them. I'm prepared to do that. I'm prepared to work with this administration. But cutting these grants to law enforcement does not make us any stronger as a nation or give us the tools we need to reduce crime in Chicago. Now, I'd just like to ask you, when it came to this Cutter situation, did you consult with the ethics office in the Department of Justice before making your decision on this gift of a jet?
Why are you not investing in tax liens? No, seriously. Why are you?
Chairman, I didn't gift a jet to anyone. My Office of Legal Counsel provides confidential advice to the president, to the White House, period. And you're conflating two issues. Cutting grants, I was very clear about what grants we've cut and what grants we haven't, only 7%. And if you have a grant in Illinois that you think that I've cut that is not protecting law enforcement officers or your people, you personally call me and I will work with you to turn that grant back on. I think many of the Democrats here can tell you, I have worked with them to turn grants back on. There's an appeal process. Tell me a specific grant that I have turned off in Illinois that would help law enforcement, and I will work with you. But you have not done that.
Did you
And
take
again,
a look?
the National Guard is on the way right now as we speak. Oh, by the way, so is Director Patel and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. You're sitting here grilling me, and they're on their way to Chicago to keep your state safe.
Madam Attorney General, it's my job to grill you.
He said, it's my job to grill you, okay? Well, he told her. Okay, he told her, and I absolutely love it. Okay, so let me go to a couple more comments before I move on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. That woman is a whole mess. Okay, Measurement says, yes, the president can't offer immunity to the AG. No, he certainly cannot, but he can pardon the AG, but only if the AG has committed like a federal crime. It can't be state or local. It has to be a federal crime, and it cannot have anything to do with impeachment. Okay? Trump's not going to help her. That's all I'm saying. Trump is not going to help her. Okay? Measurement says, did y'all know her answers was a burn book from Mean Girls? The news busted her. She had names and then the attacks to speak against every speaker. Really? Not a whole burn book. That's interesting. Thank you for that tidbit of information, beloved. And thank you for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, so with that all being said, let's talk about Boosie and Diddy. And then we're going to talk about that African lady I was telling you all about that snatched that woman's hair out of her head. Okay, from the roots. Let me go to the timestamp. Okay, here we go. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. I'm going to start at the part where he's talking about Kodak Black. Okay, he was on the Breakfast Club. Boosie was. Okay, and hold on. Let me make sure I have an overlay. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Hold on, let me pull up this overlay real quick, because y'all know you cannot be sharing the Breakfast Club without altering the video, at least. Okay, here we go. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, they asked him about him and Diddy, and what he had to say was crazy. Boosie did not know what he was talking about. Okay, here we go.
You know, it's hard for me to have an issue with anybody younger than me because I went through that with older people. And I always felt like you old ass nigga hating on me. I couldn't stand them old niggas. I couldn't stand them. So I always, it's hard for me to, like, I'm not gonna keep on going back and forth with Kodak. I want Kodak to shake back, bro. You know, I think I hurt his feelings.
And it did, because it sting different when it comes from Boosie.
Yeah, when it come from
That's what I'm
Boosie, yeah,
saying.
that shit sting.
Do you
Yeah,
feel like, because people or that whole thing started because he said that you should have said something more about the whole Young Thug conversation about the snitching, not snitching.
Yeah.
When people feel like you should insert yourself and stuff like that because of past things that you said and you choose not to, do you feel like people have a right to say, well, where's your thoughts now because you're so vocal about
No,
everything else?
it was basically, I told you I had that meeting with my family and all that shit, and they was basically, Boosie, please don't get on all this. You could talk about this after this sentencing or whatever, but
Got you.
don't plug yourself into these people's stuff, you know. But I will talk about it. I mean, but I just like, I'm gonna go in, so I don't want to make that a part of my journey before I go in there all over the blogs and shit.
Gary, what are you doing here?
I just want to talk. No threats, no drama, just a conversation.
I want to know, I know you and Diddy were cool at one time. Have y'all spoke?
Nah, I ain't speak to Diddy, but Diddy was my partner, bro. I feel like Diddy ain't never did nothing wrong, bro. I just feel like he didn't do nothing wrong. I'm mad at him right now, though.
Why you mad at him now?
Because he went on the fucking floor crying at the fucking thing.
He was happy, Boosie. He was happy that the charges got dropped.
No, he went on the fucking floor crying.
He was emotional at some points in court.
He went on the fucking floor and went under the thing, fucking crying.
There was a nigga under there.
Chin up, chest out, nigga.
His baby.
Fuck you mean you did it, nigga. They went back there laughing at you. Did you see that motherfucker down there in a fetal position?
But
and you got your churn in there, nigga. You a man. You stand up,
But
nigga.
the biggest charges got dropped. He was happy.
They
He was
were
praying.
40, 50 years. He was happy.
He dropped his knees and said a prayer.
Bro, he was crying under the table.
He was happy the biggest charges got dropped.
They were trying
He
to
was
give him
crying
40,
under the
50
table, bro.
years.
He was
They
crying
go to
under
his
the
cribs
table.
and
Diddy thought he was going home. He was crying under the table. I want to talk to Diddy. He need to call my phone. I need to ask him, why the fuck did you get down there under that fucking table and that? Because I've been riding with him. I've been riding with him.
Yeah.
I've been riding, but you got boys in there, man. You stand up, man. God then bless you. If you're going to jail, you're going to jail for something you got away with 1,000,000 times. That's why we go to jail. If we're going to keep it real. You stand up, you're still blessed. Your mama, you everybody blessed. You don't fold, nigga, like no cricket.
Let me ask you
but like again, I'm expecting somebody to be like me.
Let me ask you one question, Boosie.
You ain't built like that, man.
When you had left New York City and hooked up with P. Diddy, what did y'all do when you hooked up?
That's the worst line ever, man. I skipped that line on the show. I get to tell them, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Yeah, P. Diddy, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Yeah, they on my ass about that line. Soon as he got indicted.
What would y'all do when y'all hooked up?
Man, bro. Fuck you, Charlamagne.
Charlamagne is nefarious. Now, at the end of the day, Boosie didn't know what he was talking about. Charlamagne was trying to tell him. But see, here's the thing. This is why Boosie's family was telling him to stand down. Don't get involved in those people's stuff. Because Boosie talks too darn much. And when he starts talking, he usually says the wrong thing. Now he's all in some BS he didn't have anything to do with initially. Okay, and he's sitting there going on about Diddy. I was right there in the courtroom. Diddy was crying as soon as they said not guilty of the S trafficking and then not guilty of the RICO. That's when he hit the floor. The man was crying out of glee and relief that he wasn't going to serve his life in prison and get all his money snatched up, okay, through civil asset forfeiture, which the feds clearly were hoping to do, okay? Mel said Boosie is arrogant. He is. He thinks that he's the only one about that life. Boosie, sit down, because your ass just took a plea deal in August. Didn't you just take a plea deal, sir? But you're about that life. Yeah, sit down somewhere, Boosie, okay? I'm going to need you to take a wrap. Okay? I'm going to need you to wrap it up and take a rest. Now, with that all been said, let's get into it about this nefarious woman who tried to snatch somebody bald-headed, honey, after she lied to them. All right? Songwriter Study said exactly, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Okay? This is all crazy. Byron B said he was picking up his soap. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad that he wasn't on Vlad for a change. Okay, what's up with that, Boosie? Measurement said Diddy didn't have theft of service for a limo ride. Is that what Boosie did? Theft of service for a limo ride? Really? I'm shocked and appalled. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. This woman's name is Gifted Hands. All right? And she put hands on this woman, snatched the woman's hair out of her head. It's so many videos. Hold on. Let me see how many of this I want to do. Okay, let me get started here. Let me get started here. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Here we go. The perplexing Gifted Hands Queen. Yeah, that's what she calls herself. Uh-huh.
And motherfucking Mama Gifted Hands off Center Point Parkway, bitch. We finna run you up off that motherfucking east side, period, ho. We ain't off your case, ho. I heard that little voicemail that you had talking about you don't like us Americans. Our money is not needed. But this is what you motherfucking chose to set up shop because you know you was over there in your country braiding hair for $5, bitch. Cause on my mama, I done told patches out y'all land. It wouldn't even been no record of the place. If that would have been motherfucking me, fuck you mean. And I don't even know the motherfucking girl who had you pull, but bitch, it's like you pulled my motherfucking hair, bitch. We on top of you all. Next situation go down like this, and it better not be a motherfucking another one. But if it do, deportation is effective immediately. So since our motherfucking money ain't needed, bitch, go back over to your country and keep carrying them pants on top of your head, ho. Women go to get their motherfucking hair did because it makes them feel good. It's them getting pampered their me time. Instead, you got to leave out looking like Fire Marshal Bill.
Fire Marshal Bill? Here's the thing. Hold on. Byron said, does that bonnet make you tough? Listen, Byron, when black women see something like that, like what we saw done to that black woman, we get mad, okay? You're going to see videos of everybody talking like that, including me. When I saw it, I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, bitch, I wish somebody would try to grab my hair like that. When I tell you, it will be some serious consequences, some furniture moving. Okay, I'm telling you, it will be going down. It will be smoking the city. I don't like to fight, but baby, on that day, I definitely would. Okay, you're gonna get what's coming. Now, at the end of the day, because that was all too much. You snatched this lady's hair out of her damn head because you lied. Now, I want you all to pay attention. The reason we're so mad about this is because the woman did nothing wrong. You told the lady when she called your establishment, she asked you how much for the braids that she wanted. The lady first said that it starts at $200 on up. The lady said that she was going to pay, or she wanted to pay $200. She asked her how much for a particular type of braids, and the lady said, oh, $200. See, here's the trick. They do you just like, you know, when women go to get their cars worked on and the mechanics will lie and say, oh, you need to get this done, this done, and this done. I literally went to get my air pressure checked on a tire. By the time they got done, they told me, they gave me an estimate of $800 $800+ worth of work that they claimed I needed. Get the hell out of here. Do I look stupid? So that's what they do. Okay, they'll tell you on the phone, like if you say you want to pay $200, then they'll tell you that it's going to cost $200. Then they get there, do your hair, and then tell you a different price. And if you don't want to pay it or you don't have the money or whatever, this is how they act. Okay, so black women need to stop going to them because I thought y'all were already boycotting them from disrespecting y'all months ago. But see, this is what you get because you don't learn and you don't listen. Okay, this is what happens. How many of these stories do I have to keep doing? Now, right? Now I want this lady to lose her business. I want her to lose her license, which will subsequently make her lose her business. And we're working on it. Pay attention. And this is her right here. Now I want you all to pay attention because this is the woman right here. This is the culprit, and this is the woman whose hair she's snatching.
To them. Let it go. This happened. I got locked in the building.
Obviously, mental illness is real because I called the braider shop, and this is her voicemail following the incident.
If you are calling to give me any kind of ill will or energy, I do not care. I do not care for your Americans. I do not care who you have. You are structural, you are prejudiced, you are ridiculous. To hell with you all. I will never care about your money. Your money is not needed.
And I'm not understanding how is she mad that she threatened to pew this lady. She pulled the hair out of her head. She locked her inside of the establishment. Oh my God. Well, since she doesn't need anyone's money, then I guess y'all stop supporting.
Some Black women just don't learn. Are you that desperate to get your braids done? Learn how to do your own darn hair or find somebody, okay, like yourself to braid your hair. Stop allowing people to disrespect you just because you want a service. Okay, at the end of the day, they say they don't need our money. Stop giving it to them and see how that works out for them. Okay, let's see how that works out.
Bitch, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get out.
Now, this lady right here, I love to hear her go off. I literally follow her just so I can hear her going off. Okay? This lady does not play the radio, and I love it. She's nefarious, clearly. All right, so let's get into it.
Out of here. So there is a video surfing of the young lady who owns Mama Gifted Hands Braiding Shop in Birmingham, Alabama. And since I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, I decided to speak on this situation. So it's a video circulating that a young lady went to Mama's braid shop, Mama's Gifted Hands, on Center Point Parkway to get her hair braided. There are text messages proving the conversation that they had between each other prior to her getting her hair braided. She asked for braids that cost $200. Well, Mama Gifted Hands decided to put some hair in her head that she didn't ask for, and you telling her she owed you $250. The lady told you I was paying $200, showed the text messages, sent the $200, but because you want an extra $50 because you used a certain kind of hair in her head, you asking her to pay it, and she telling you she not gonna pay it. You pull that lady hair out of her head. You done snatched plaits out of her head. You holding her hair in your hand, talking about you gonna sue her. She ain't finna go nowhere. You finna call the police. Gifted Hands, bitch. I would have mollywhopped your ass all over that motherfucking salon. Do you hear me? That's first and foremost. Because, bitch, don't pull my hair hole. Is you losing your motherfucking mind? And then you sit up there acting like that when clearly you told that girl you was going to braid her hair for $200. You chose to use a certain kind of hair in her head. You should have made her aware of that before you put it in her fucking head. But I'm going to say this to you African, Jamaican, whatever the fuck y'all supposed to be motherfuckers that come over here braiding hair. Bitch, we getting y'all hoes a motherfucking a leg up, bitch. Because when y'all funk ass be over there across seas braiding hair hoe, y'all get motherfucking paid $25 motherfucking dollars. Y'all come over here and charge us $200 motherfucking dollars plus the braid our hair, and most of us don't have no problem paying it to you. But y'all come over here and come up off us, and then you gonna sit up there and treat that motherfucking lady like that. Bitch, we're gonna run your ass out of motherfucking town. That's what the fuck we gonna do. You'll be braiding hair in Alaska fucking around in Birmingham, bitch. As soon as I repost this video all over my motherfucking social media, that lady should have beat the fuck out of you is what the fuck she should have did. You pulling that lady hair out her motherfucking head. You gotta be motherfucking crazy, bitch. You lucky you came out of that hole unharmed. Because if it would have been me, it would have been going down in that motherfucker. And you went braid now another braid in that bitch. It'd have been down on the ground next time you seen that motherfucker. Again, y'all bring y'all ass over.
Let's cut that part off because she went in. She went in too hard right there. But listen, at the end of the day, no lies detected. They are so disrespectful. And then you heard her voice message. If you are coming to wish hurt or harm, I do not need your money. We do not want your money. Well, you've been wanting it, lady, and you wanted it bad enough that you snatched that lady's hair out of her darn head. That's what you did. Okay, so don't get mad at us. All right? This is all crazy. But Thailand said, this is funny to me. Yeah, it is after the fact in hindsight. But at the end of the day, they need to stop going to these places, okay? Because you're not going to be, if you're going somewhere where you have to be concerned if they're going to put hands on you, please don't go. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if I go somewhere and somebody puts hands on me, baby, it's gonna be somebody's gonna be in jail and somebody's gonna be in hell. Okay, and that's just facts. Don't put your
So
hands
what the
on me
fuck
ever.
be wrong with y'all hairstylists? Like y'all tell a bitch one price over the phone, but then when a bitch get there, y'all get to add on this extra shit. Bitch, y'all know I'm from Birmingham and y'all already know what fucking video I'm talking about. Mama gifted. Bitch, I promise you, it wouldn't have been no shop. Fuck is you saying? You told a girl motherfucking $200. You talking about she owed you $250. House way. Fuck is you saying? Then two of y'all in here holding this girl by her motherfucking hair and then put some of her hair. I promise to God, bitch. That's all you would have heard. Bitches would have had to get skin grafted when I'd have got through with your motherfucking ass. That's what made people not even want to go and get their hair done from these horrible ass fucking experiences they be having from y'all fucking hairstylists. The girl strictly verified with you what type of hairstyle she wanted, what length. You gave her a direct price. Then the girl get there, get her hair did. Now you talking about she owe you this. Bitch, y'all, I'm my mama, girl. I swear to God.
Did y'all hear that? She said, oh, my mama. Now, you know, when a black person says, oh, they mama, you already know it's going down, okay? Claudette said, not skin grafted. Honey, she was mad, but I want y'all to pay attention to how all of these black women have the same amount of rage and are literally saying just about the same thing. Okay? Gifted hands, honey, you have made your bed. Now you're going to have to lie in it, period. I guarantee you she'll be out of business, okay, in a few days. Promise you.
So I'm still mad about this story I heard about the girl who told the African braid shop who told the girl one price. Then when she got there and they got through, they tried to tell her another price. She paid the original price, which was $200. She was $50 short because of the different type of hair they used, but she didn't ask for that. And when she tried to leave, these bitches grabbed her freshly braids, okay? Grabbed her fresh braids and tried to drag her back into the shop and was holding on to her hair, ripped her edges out on this side. All that. This shit is fucking amazing to me. Because I mean, these Africans that got over here and got comfortable. Now, I be saying I'm not no racist, but I'm a little bit of a racist. And I'm not mad. I'm not ashamed to say that. Because shit like that make me mad. And I'm just real tempted to go ahead and call ICE on this bitch because she right down the street where from where I'm at. And I know if she got her papers, I guarantee you all them other motherfuckers that's still in there dressed like they have the plantation somewhere. Them the ones. Them the ones that ain't got their papers. Them the ones that ain't got their papers. The girl that was behind her, holding her up, didn't want to get in the camera. She definitely ain't got her motherfucking papers. And if Jessica, if you don't have to think her name Jessica, the content creator that was getting her hair done, you inbox me, baby. Because I got a connection over in the immigration office. And we can get that bitch deported. We can get her ass yesterday. All you got to do is call and give a tip, baby. They looking for them everywhere. That bitch, her day is came. I'm telling y'all. Let me know if y'all done seen this damn video of the girl pulling her hair because she didn't want to pay what she wanted her to pay after we agreed on the price. And she was pulling this girl freshly braids and pull her edges out. Y'all let me know if y'all seen the video and what y'all would have did. Because I'm sorry, this shit got me ice, baby.
She said it would have been called the next day. Honey, it's over for her. People threatening to call ICE on her. I bet they already called him by now. Ooh, honey, you need to tread lightly, okay? Let me tell y'all something. Black people are fed the F up, all right? Black people are fed the F up. At the end of the day, we're getting tired, okay? We're getting tired. Now, people are going to start getting the smoke, okay? Monetarily. We don't have to put hands on you, but we're going to start hurting them pockets. Okay, we're going to start hurting them pockets. That's what we're going to start doing. Black community. That's what we're going to do. We're going to hurt their pockets. We're going to make them lose their jobs, lose their businesses. Anybody who wants to be racist, who wants to try to be disrespectful to us, making threats. She told that woman she was going to shoot her. That's what she said. And it's amazing to me that the police didn't lock her up when they came because the police were called. They didn't even take her to jail. Now, first of all, we have simple battery. Okay, we have assault. We have terroristic threats. And you mean to tell me y'all can't take her to jail? Yeah, they sure didn't. But I guarantee you, if she had done that to a white person, they would have taken her behind the jail. I bet you that. Okay, or if an African American had done it, they'd have gone to jail. I want y'all to pay attention. Absolutely. They would have taken an African American to jail.
So yesterday I stumbled.
Now, these are the text messages which reveal that the lady absolutely had already had a conversation with her about the price, and it was already agreed upon. So she did that lady dirt.
Hey guys, it's story time.
Pause the read.
So yesterday I stumbled across
She agreed to
Mama's
pay
Gifted
$200.
Hands. I reached out to schedule an appointment. They said that I can come the same day, and it was going to be $200 for some medium boho knowledge. I jumped on it. So I get there. Hospitality was great. Everything was great. And things quickly changed. When I paid the $200 to them, this happened. I got locked in the building, and I was told that I could not leave, and that the services that I received was actually $250, which, as you saw in the text message, she said $200. I even showed her, and she agreed that she said $200 and still tried to demand that I pay $30 to $60 more for the human hair that they put in my head that I never asked for. I was threatened, locked in. I tried to leave. I got pushed back in, and my hair was pulled, as you can see here. They pulled out my real hair while doing this. The police was called, and when they showed up, she started saying that I punched her. I never did. So the police ended up watching the cameras, and at the end of it, the police even told her they assaulted me. I never punched her. I did try to push past her to get out because I was being held against my will.
This pissed me off so bad. I swear for God, they was trashing us and dragging us when we said that we should boycott these businesses until we got better treatment. They said that we were xenophobic. They said that we were jealous that the Africans was coming over here and opening braiding shops in our communities, and that we were so jealous that we've been supporting them for years. Look at the type of shit they do. In that text message, they agreed on $200. That lady, they did what the Asians be trying to do. Get you in a chair, do some extra that you didn't ask for, and then charge you. That's not how that works, especially if we agreed upon a price. And then for them to be pulling her hair out, the way that whole salon would have been trashed. And I'm not even, bitch, I ain't Mike Tyson, but the way I would have been throwing bowls, I would have been thrashing all over the place. Girl, especially when I'm in like fight or flight, when my adrenaline starts rushing and I feel threatened or attacked, I would have been going crazy. I don't know how I don't know what type. I'm not even trying to judge her because everybody's not a fighter. Everybody's not trying to, nobody likes to fight. I don't like to fight. We're grown women. But if somebody's pulling my hair, trying to rip my hair from the root, and I paid you, bitch, it's on and popping. Y'all would have had to, I would have been breaking mirrors, everything. It would have been a mess. So the police ended up coming. And she basically said that they let her go because she agreed to pay $200 and she paid her the money. And while the police were there, she was the lady, the Mama Gifted Hands, was still insisting that she would cut the lady's braids out. And the police was like, no, you cannot touch her. So she assaulted her. That lady better press every charges that she can, and she better go and file a civil suit. This ain't even the worst part. Somebody called up to the salon and listen to what this nasty gutter snipe African bitch, and I said it, and I'm just only talking about her, not all Africans. That particular African bitch, and I don't know what country she come from. Her braiding shop says African hair braider, so y'all can miss me with that shit too.
Listen to what the fuck she got on her voicemail. Let me play it for y'all. Listen to this.
If you are calling to give me any kind of ill will or energy, I do not care. I do not care for your Americans. I do not care for your hair. You are structural, you are prejudiced, and you are ridiculous. To hell with you all. I will never care about your money. Your money is not needed.
I do not care about you. You're prejudiced. I don't know what else she said. I don't care for you Americans at all. Your money is not needed. Who the fuck else is going to keep your salon alive and open in Birmingham, Alabama, if not for Black American women? They going to keep fucking around and finding out, child. Y'all better not go to Mama Gifted Hands in Birmingham, Alabama. Shut that down now.
That business is a wrap. It's done. Okay, it's done. They're in Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah. Other than Black women, who's going to go to them to get their hair braided? Okay, not Africans, because Africans braid their own hair. Okay, so miss me with it. It's a wrap for her. It's a wrap. Now, you all heard all of that. So this is false imprisonment because the woman said she was locked in there, held against her will. That's false imprisonment. At the end of the day, I'm going to do whatever I want to do to you. At that point, you lock me in somewhere because now this is fight or flight for real. You're holding me hostage. Yeah, I got all rights to do what I need to do to get up out of there. Okay, and I'm in fear for my life. Okay, so please pay attention. Don't play with me. This is all crazy. Honey, these people are too much. Okay, so let's go to this last video. At least I think this is the last one. All nefarious.
Okay, guys, so I have been searching, well, not searching. I just came on TikTok. I was on a buddy of mine live, but I decided just to go ahead and just to see what was going on all in the TikTok streets. So what came to my attention, because I am a licensed cosmetology, is this braider out of Birmingham, Alabama, Mom's Gifted Hands. See, Miss Ma'am, Miss Mama. Like, you got gifted hands, right? But your gifted hands are not to put your hands on customers. So, looking at this video, you're beyond wrong. That's for one. For two, you cannot change your price. For one, it's called consultation. When she asks you in text messages about the braids, you say $200 and up, depend on the length. She said mid-back, you said $200, boom, bam. You cannot change it. The next thing you should have asked in that text message, what type of hair? Do you want synthetic or do you want human? But you failed to do that. So, yes, you braid her hair. She got there on time. You braid her hair. She pay you that $200, but then you decided, no, I want $250, and then go as far as to put your hands on her and to take hair out of her head with braids.
And let me say this, okay? There is a video that shows that the braider, she actually had the $200 already. She had the money in her hand when she's treating the lady like this, because the lady said, I paid you $200 or something like that. And she literally picks up the money and holds it. The braider, she says, yeah, you gave me $200. And she's still holding on to this lady's hair. Okay, I cannot believe the audacity. So the lady gave you the money that you told her she had to pay, and this is what you do? Baby, when I tell you fists would have been flying in fists any time that I'm going to put paws on somebody, that would have been the day. Okay, and like they said, that shop, they would have had to have it remodeled by the time I came up out of there, and I mean that. Okay, because that was just so damn disrespectful. You're going to beat this woman. You're going to rip her hair out by the roots. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And then you holding her head in video. So to the young lady that this happened to, first of all, as a hairdresser, as a cosmetologist, I am so sorry for what you went through. The next rule of thumb, let's go down the rabbit hole. Right now, everything that you need to do. One, make a police report. She assaulted you and then she threatened you because she said on that, don't make me pow you. That's assault, okay? So you need to file both of those on her. Then the third thing you need to do is contact the State Board of Cosmetology and Braiding in Alabama.
I'll definitely be doing that tomorrow. Okay? And I'm going to have all the information.
Get her license revoked. When they revoke her license, and because of the matter of what took place, what is going to happen? Here in the United States, she would not be able to get a license nowhere. If she is caught inside a salon braiding hair, only thing I got to say is State Board of Cosmetology, they don't play. They don't play. So therefore, sue her for everything you can sue for. Get you a good lawyer.
Okay, absolutely. Now, with that all being said, egregious. Okay, absolutely egregious. Whoo, honey, that just made me so angry to see that. Okay, Cardi said, Black women, all we need to do is get on code with this one. I saw we make them all feel it. Sorry, they lump us all together. Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. Cecil said, Queen, please keep us abreast if that lady sues on the hair incident. I hope she does. Okay. But that lady's gonna lose her license. We're gonna see to it. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, honey, these people just never cease to amaze me. Okay, with their nefariousness against Black people. And then they want to sit there and say that Black women are jealous of them. Honey, if Black women were so jealous of them, they wouldn't go to them to get their hair braided in the first place. Okay, that's what they wouldn't do. They wouldn't go to them to get their hair braided in the first place. And she better hope nobody calls ICE on her. Okay, that's what she better be hoping, because she don't want them problems. She don't want them problems, I promise you. Now, let me just go to this last video, because this man right here said something that I find very interesting, because of those of you that follow the spiritual channel, we have talked about this, how people buy weave and wigs and all that stuff and put it on your crown chakra. Okay, you're blocking your chakras, just so you know. And then also, I've told you all about different energies and spirits attached to those things. You don't know what the person was going through. You don't know what type of life they were living, and you're just putting this hair in your head. But this is what this Black man says an Asian lady told him about Black women wearing that hair, and that she was surprised that they never do this.
I don't know who need to hear this, but you might want to start praying over the hair you put in your head and them wigs you put on. I used to be in the hair industry. A lady told me 15 years ago, Chinese lady, she used to make wigs. She told me where they would get all the real hair from. Abuse victims, women with cancer, women that went through all types of things, right? And she said, it's amazing how Black women never pray over the hair they get. And I said, damn, I never thought of that. You know, it's a spirit. I'm just a messenger. I don't know who want to hear that, for real. I don't know if you want to come to terms with watching what you see happen and everybody seem to look the same. Pray over your hair. Pray over the hair you get out these stores. Pray over them wigs. I'm telling you, it's a real spiritual battle. The battle ain't in the natural, ladies. That's free game.
Okay, that was free game, but some of y'all don't hear him though. Okay, some of y'all don't hear him though. Please pay attention. Y'all gonna keep wearing those wigs and weaves and not praying over them, and then you're gonna be snatched bald like that lady there was. Okay, but seriously, okay, in all seriousness, hair is considered, to hold energy. It holds a lot of energy in various spiritual, cultural, and symbolic ways. And it also contains a record of your physical and emotional experiences. So the trauma that some people endure, whether they were R-worded, they were assaulted, abused, beaten, whatever, all of that trauma. Okay, that energy is contagious. I keep telling y'all that. Energy is contagious at the end of the day. All right? Energy cannot be destroyed or created. It's merely transferred from one thing to another. Okay, and we all learned that in 10th grade, did we not? So y'all know that already. So you just have to be careful. I don't want to put anybody else's hair on top of my crown chakra. That's what I don't do. I try to keep my chakras aligned, okay? And so I can live peacefully. And so I can be able to receive the downloads that the Most High sends me, okay, through my dreams and whatnot. Now, with that all being said, they say, as a record of experience, each strand of hair contains a record of your emotional, hormonal, and nutritional experiences, making it a chronicle of your life. Did y'all know that? Now, marinate on that for a second, okay? That's the scientific perspective. All right, so please pay attention. It also contains a record of your physical, emotional experiences. While it does not store energy like a battery, a hair's growth is influenced by your health and stress levels, and it does hold energy. It is often used in spiritual traditions to connect with divine energy. I've told y'all that 1,000 times. And specifically, Black people, our hair grows in the direction of the sun. It is our spiritual antennas, and this is how we have our connection, a better connection to the Most High. The longer your hair is in its natural state, that's why I'm never going to cut my hair. I'm never going to perm it, put chemicals in it. Never going to do it, because it gives you such a powerful connection to the Most High. Okay, it literally does. At the end of the day, and this is why in the Bible they have the allegory about Samson, who had locks, by the way. If you read the Bible, it said he had 7 locks upon his head. And so with that all being said, that's why in the Bible it told us the story of his strength being in his hair. It wasn't his physical strength, it was his mental strength. Okay, them making it about mental strength in the Bible was an allegory. Okay, so those of you who know that I'm an esoteric philosopher, you all know that I told you that. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, I'm about to be up out of here. Okay, Reggie says, yes, I know. I grew my locks down my shoulders. When I released them, I kept them to this date. Okay, absolutely. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoyed the broadcast, and I will see you in the morning with your morning wake-up call. Until then, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive, and always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. And don't let people disrespect you, especially when you're paying them for a service. I mean, it's the unmitigated gall and the nerve of it for me. Okay, you're not going to disrespect me when I'm giving you my hard-earned cash. All right, that's what we're not going to do. I don't care who you are. Okay, so anyway, love you all to life, and I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me?